Here is a Gyroaire VN by Mistral. This is a very unusual fan to find here in the US. Mistral is a lot more common in, I believe, Australia, UK, and maybe some other places. I didn't even know that these were sold around here, though inherently it was, because it's built for 110 at 60 Hertz. This is an excellent fan, and it's also a horrible fan at the same time. Here's the informations. Model GA16-70, 1.95 amps, do not use in a window. It's all plastic housing, and it's kind of a creaky shatter plastic kind of housing. Though interestingly enough, the blade is metal, and it has a really nice brown finish, which is still in amazing condition. This was restored by the letter H, and he did a fantastic job. This thing is absolutely spotless. The motor is pretty substantial. It's got decent windings in there. I don't know if this has oil ports or not. It doesn't look like it. It has kind of like a turbine looking design with the air guide in there and so forth. You can see the motor is really quite big, especially for I think it's only a 10 or a 12-inch fan. Let's see if we can get a measurement on the blade. The blade is say it's about 11 inches across. We got a 2 amp motor for an 11-inch blade. Of course, it's a shaded pole motor, so it's extremely inefficient. It's still a lot of power though. This does have the rotating guard. I guess that's the adjustment right there. If we unscrew this, it's not air powered, it's gear driven. I don't know which. I think that unlocks it, and then if we screw this in, I could kind of see the blade moving a little bit. I think this locks it in place. Yeah, it does. So now it's going to move with. I don't know if this even works anymore or not. I think that's off, but I'm not entirely certain. I think that's on. Either way, this is a variable speed fan, infinite range, and these were recalled. These were a pretty serious fire hazard for a couple of reasons. So for starters, the motor has zero protection on it. No thermal, I think. No thermal, no impedance, no fuse, nothing, as far as I know it. On top of that, it's encased in highly flammable plastic. So if something should go wrong with the motor, it's going up. Now, I have heard some people say that when you turn the switch all the way down to minimum or off, that the fan still would draw power and the motor would just sit there stalled and get very hot, and that was part of the hazard. On this particular unit, I'm not experiencing that. I have it plugged in right now, and it's turned all the way down, and there's no power being consumed by the fan. And when I turn the switch on, there's a very distinct point where it starts to hum and the motor runs and then it stops. So I don't think so that this particular model, or this particular one, has the problem where the switch doesn't cut it off. I don't know if that was by design or if that's like a failure that develops over time or what. I'm not an expert in Mistral fans by any means, and I'm sure somebody out there can provide some more insight on the recall of these units. But it's a shame that it was a dangerous product and that it was recalled. It's very rare now because of that. And it's also an absolutely phenomenal fan. The amount of air it moves is insane. It's an insanely powerful fan. It's very quiet, but of course it's a dangerous product. So let's go ahead and turn it on. We'll start with all the way down. I'll just move it right to when it starts to come on. So that's as low as it can run. It's already pushing a decent breeze. That's pulling 1.27 amps for hardly any air. Oh, what a waste of electricity. 44 of the watts with a power factor of 0.29. And this is at 118.6 the volts. Now, even 5 feet away from this, I can still feel a notable amount of air moving. The aerodynamics in this thing are perfect. It moves so much air, it's strong, the air travels. Can I even feel it all the way across the room? Pretty much. I can still feel a breeze all the way across the room. It's very, very gentle, but it's there. That's crazy. And it does have, like, this is kind of pointed up and then the bottom is straight. So you could get a decently wide airstream out of this unit. Now, of course, there is a motor hum, but it's not too bad. It sounds like it's starting to pick up speed. It's very cold down here. It's only 62, and I haven't run this in a while, so the bearings might be kind of stiff. Let's see if I can actuate. So this is spinning right now. Let's see if I can actuate this guard. Well, that inherently is not doing anything. Maybe this is busted, I don't know. No, that's not doing it. I don't know then, because this is turning, so why... This seems like it's just unscrewing at this point. Yeah, that just unscrewed. Well, that's not super helpful. Although now it seems like it's working, which is ironic. Oh, great. Oh, it's reverse threaded. Okay. Well, I don't know why that doesn't work. Maybe that letter can tell me what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in all the way back to where it was. And the thing is all chewed up, so you can tell somebody else is having a problem with it at some point as well. Alright, let's go up in speed a little bit. That's about a quarter power. And the air noise is almost non-existent. And it's pushing some air. It's really impressive. The power draw is 1.48 amps, 61 the watts with a power factor of 0.34. It'll get better as we go up. It's just the amount of air this moves is absolutely incredible, and the air travels so nicely, and it's a smooth, constant breeze that we get out of this fan. So that's about halfway up. It's not half speed though, it does go much, much faster than this. Halfway up the dial, it's pulling 1.71 amps, 80 the watts with a power factor of 0.4, 0.39. Move this over here instead of standing in front of the camera. Alright, let's go up a little bit more. Let's say 75% power. It's in pretty good balance too. It's almost in perfect balance. So this is now we're about 70% up. 1.95 amps, 108 the watts with a power factor of 0.46. And across the room, tremendous amount of air. This is really, it's super powerful. Probably one of the most powerful fans of this size. It's just really incredible. That's about 80% power, 85%, 1.97 amps, 119 the watts with a power factor of 0.5. And this is just absolutely blasting. And it's still so quiet. That's about 90% power, 1.97 amps, 125 the watts, power factor 0.53. Now we're going to go all the way up to full power. And that's full power. That's 2.04 amps, 137 the watts, the power factor is 0.56. That's a very poorly built control. Very, very poor. And it's in good balance. And it's a metal blade, so if it was out of balance, we'd definitely feel it. And the amount of airflow is just unbelievable. It's so quiet for the amount of air being moved. I've got to get a new airflow tester because I don't have a good way to portray the airflow right now. All the way back here, it's like, this feels like a 20-inch box fan from back here. It's that powerful. It's really remarkable. And the airstream is huge. It's a very, very wide airstream because of the way the guard is. Nice deep pitch blades too. Definitely needs to be oiled again. The bearings are fairly stiff. So I'm still getting a reading of 0 amps, 0 watts. So I don't know if this particular one, maybe there was different revisions and this particular one does not have that constant power draw defect, but I've heard from multiple sources that that was a problem with these. But anyways, this is a very interesting piece, very unusual to find in this country, and it's a shame because it works really well.